No, I didn't. But you know what? We've said that before. I mean, going back to A-Rod and some of these deals, even Otani's, and so I think we'll keep breaking barriers. And so it's obvious there's some money being made out there. But hey, good for Juan. He had a tremendous year, and it's good for these players.
What do you know about Kyle Higashioka? Have you gotten to talk with him since?
Yeah, we've spoken a couple times. No, excited to have him. He's a winner. And talking to him, he takes so much pride in trying to make the pitcher better. That's what he's so good at, framing and game calling, and does a tremendous job behind the plate. Obviously, with catching the postseason last year, how much confidence they had in him. So he's going to complement Jonah so well, I think, and going to enable us to rest Jonah a little bit more. And I think we got a great tandem behind the plate, and then he provides power too. I mean, he's got some big power, and not a guy who's going to hit for a lot of average, but he will do some damage. And great teammate. I'm looking forward to working with him.
CY has said a couple of times that maybe the best way to get better next year is for the guys that you already have to bounce back. I mean, how do you see in terms of the offense, guys like Jonah, Dooley, just kind of getting back to who they were last year and kind of going into 2025?
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I mean, you can't go out and just start getting everybody or new guys every position. We have a very good core. We won a world championship with these guys, and some of them had down years, and silver lining is that's hopefully motivates them even more. I think we've seen it early go here. With Leo staying here, Tavares I'm talking about, and working on his game. He didn't go back home. Garcia's been working hard. Jonah's going into the ballpark. So these guys are determined to show that last year was a fluke and having a down year. But to me, that's the only way that we're going to get better is individually we get better as a team.
Bruce, is it fair to say or not that the extended season in 23 had an effect on Jonah?
I can't say that. I really can't. Only because there's been a lot of teams that have won world championships and have to come bounce back. Whether that he did carry a heavy load, no question about it. And so that's why, getting Higgy here to help out, to lighten the load for him. Hopefully we'll keep him fresher. But I don't want to say anybody got complacent. I know Jonah didn't, but at the same time, I think it's just a reminder that you can't let up. You can't, stop trying to become a better player. Not that he didn't, but this is a wake-up call that we got work to do. We got a lot of work to do this spring, and I got the staff coming in tomorrow, and we're going to talk about these things.
You had a little bit of obviously a little longer off-season. How did you kind of recharge yourself once it was over, kind of reflect on this year, looking ahead to next year?
Yeah. No, I got out a little bit. I went down to Florida to fish. Had to cancel that trip because of the hurricane, so I had to stop in Georgia at a lake there, Lake Oconee, and hung out there for a week. Did some reflecting, some fishing, all those things, just to decompress. And as a manager, that's what we do. I think we're always thinking about what we could have done different or what we need to do better, lineups and things like that.
Do you have a ratio with your catching situation?
Not really. Something that's somewhat concrete there. Jonah will do a little bit more to catching. I think that's fair to say. But and how we end up doing it, there's going to be variables involved. Who's pitching for us? Who's pitching for them? Who needs a day? Maybe who's hot? Things like that. I'm sorry.
How much contact do you have with your players during the offseason?
You know what? I don't a lot anymore. I give them their time. I have talked to some of them, not all of them. I am going to the ballpark here, and that's where I'll see a lot of guys working out. Of course, we have the Fan Fest, but I've touch base with Marcus and Corey, Josh Young, some of those guys. But I give them their time.
But we talked about the new rule changes over the last couple of years. And there was one that's been floated around that obviously is not going to happen. This golden and bat thing. Have you heard about that? What's your reaction when you hear something gimmicky like that?
Well, I don't know if we need to even talk about it. I don't see it happening. I don't want to see it happen, but I don't see it happening. And I guess you're always trying to make the game better, but I don't see where that does that.
Let me ask you this. Being an older school, we talk about old school, new school, but I mean, obviously there's a mix with the rules. How have you adjusted to it, and how much in your 2 years back have you come to appreciate, either like or dislike these rules? Like the pitch clock, the minimums and the things and the bigger bases?
I've said this. I think that's one of the best rules that we did put in, which is pitch clock. I think the pace of the game, the action, everything about it, I think it's worked. It reminds me when I broke in back in the late 70s. The pace of the game is a lot faster. And so, no, I think that's been good. I've talked about this. I think it's been good for the players. It keeps them fresher. The game's a little shorter. They're not on the legs so much. And some of them not as fond of, the 3-batter minimum, things like that. But guys I've gotten used to it. Man on second. I know players seem to like that. And they'll shorten up some games, stays away from those 17, 18, 19 inning games that wears them down. So, no, I'm good with that. I think it's a better game now. There's no doubt in my mind it's a better game. And I think the attendance is showing that.
Bruce, do you think baseball needs to be aggressive and continually tinkering with the game product to reach fans, whether they're younger, older, middle age, whatever? Do you think they need to keep doing that?
Yeah. Well, I'll say this, just like us, me as a manager or players, we're always looking to get better. And so you're always looking for ways you can make the game better. So tinkering a little bit is fine, but you got to draw a line somewhere. And this golden rule, I think that's a good place to draw one. But it's there's nothing wrong with it. I think some good things have come out of it. Like I said, the pitch clock.
So who would you send up for a second time with Matt in the same room?
What is your bigger need? Back into the rotation or back into the bullpen?
Yeah, both. I think you look at, how many guys we got to replace down in that bullpen. I mean, that's a lot. 3 high leverage guys. Sporzy, he won't be pitching till probably late June, after getting his shoulder cleaned out. So, that's both.
They're equal.
Yeah. Well, the bullpen, I think we need more than one piece. Starters, I think maybe one more would be nice to have. But we need some guys that finish some games. It doesn't work, starters, you're getting out 5th, 6th inning somewhere in there. You better have some guys that finish that game for you. And you look what Yates did and Robertson did. We didn't get where we wanted to go, but I hate to think where we would have been without those two. And so that's not going to be easy to replace. And hopefully we're in the mix there.
Does that? You mentioned Yates and Robertson. Those are pretty low-cost deals that turned into valuable back-end pieces. Does that give you hope that it can be replicated and done again in some format?
Yeah. I can tell you now, up in the room, we're going through every team, every free agent. We're turning over every stone. That find guys that we think are going to be winning type relievers or even starters.
Hey, Coach. What was
Barry, how you doing?
What was your reaction when you heard how much money Soto got?
Probably like everybody, stunned, but I think anytime you break a barrier, you go, whoa, where's it going to stop? But man, he's a tremendous player, and he had a lot of leverage, and so I'm happy for him. I mean, that's great. So, like I said here, we just talked about it, Barry, but obviously there's a lot of money being made out there.
Right? What can old like you learn from a young manager on your staff, like Steve Schumer? I know you'll be in the dugout. What can you learn from Steve? What can you do that?
Well, I think anytime you have another set of eyes and ears, voice, gives you maybe a fresh idea or thought. I listen to everybody. We talk about analytics. We use that. I listen to them saying, you're never as good as all the people around you, I think, that can help you make you better. I've always said this. None of us are as smart as all of us, and he's part of us, and he's going to help, in the decision making.
Bruce, I'm not going to call you old like Evan, but Terry Francona came back to the Reds this year, and you were kind of in a similar situation with that time aside. What did that time away from the game, what did you learn, and how did that help make you a better manager? How do you think that could work with Terry?
Well, I think more than anything, I learned how much I missed the game. I said the first year I was fine, the COVID year, but after that, I missed being in the dugout, missed being around the guys, the coaches, the players, the competition, and probably, just a reminder, how hard a game can be. And so when I came back, I think I'm even more patient than I was the first time because I didn't want to beat myself up again. That's what we do as managers, and how we take losses or decisions that don't work, and you do the best you can and enjoy it. That's the biggest thing I can tell you. Just enjoy it. And when you've been away, I've said this, and come back, that gratitude meter shoots way up on what you're doing, what you have, and being around everything that baseball provides. So.
And in the last couple of years, we've seen more experienced managers coming back, yourself, Dusty, and win championships. What does the more experienced manager bring to the table at this point?
Well, exactly what that is, experience, hopefully, knowledge, to help out. Again, your coaching staff, the work that they do, they're doing the yeoman's work, but I just think, the older you get, hopefully you get a little bit better at what you're doing, and, being able to make the right type of decisions. And I'll use a scout, for example. You get those scouts that have been doing it a long time. They have a reference on everything, man, and things just click to them, and so I think sure experience should help.
A little bit of a two-part question. With Will Venables, when you saw him, how well prepared do you think he is to be a manager? And in that sense, you had a bench coach.
Yeah, Will's more than ready, man. I'm happy for him. So I'm really happy that he's doing this, and I told him be careful what you ask for, but he did, such a great job with me. I enjoyed my 2 years with him. He provided so much for me as far as information, helping out with scheduling, things like that. He's going to be missed. And I'm excited about working with Luis, and I just think he knew he was ready. Year before, there's some interest out there, but I think he wanted to keep going until he thought he was ready. And only you know when you think you're ready, and he felt it, so good for him.
What gives you hope that the offense will rebound to 23 levels?
Well, I've seen this offense be an elite offense, so I don't. Hope's not the strategy here. I know these guys will bounce back and be the player that we know they are. And, 3 or 4 guys, sure, they had down years, but hey, that happens. And that 23 season was a grind for them, and I think it was a learning experience for them. As they come into this year, as we talked about earlier, how important it is to keep getting after it and try to become the best player you can be.
Yeah, one more question.
What skill set do you bring that allowed him to adapt to the organization so quickly?
What's that?
With Will Venable, what kind of skill set do you bring that allowed him to adapt to an organization with you guys so quickly that he would carry on as a team now?
Man, I didn't hear that still, but I'll try to answer what I think I heard. But Will's he's got a great way about him. He's got a good feel for the game. He got a good feel for people, and I think being a really good communicator, being honest up front is going to be so good. It's going to work so well with him and the team that he has, and there's going to be a trust factor with Will because he's going to shoot you straight, and that's what they're going to love.
All right, thanks everybody.
Thank you.